The Olympic Games have faced many controversies, from boycotts due to political tensions to personal scandals, impacting the spirit of the competition. These issues have sparked debates, influenced athletes' careers, and even affected international relations. They highlight the complexities of the world's premier sporting event, challenging our views on fairness and integrity in sports. 10. At the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, a big figure skating scandal happened. Canadian skaters Jamie Salé and David Pelletier and Russians Elena Berezhnaya and Anton Sikarulidze were all involved. This problem, called Skategate, ended with both pairs getting gold medals and led to big changes in how figure skating is judged. The competition was close, but many people couldn't believe it when the Canadians, who skated really well, only got silver and the Russians got gold. Then, it came out that a French judge was pushed to pick the Russian pair, which caused a huge fuss all over the world. There were even stories about the mafia being involved. Because of all the upset, the group that makes the rules for skating gave both pairs gold medals and changed the scoring system to try and stop this from happening again. 9. The 1904 Olympic Marathon in St. Louis was one of the oddest Olympic events ever. Held during America's first Olympics at the World's Fair, it featured strange happenings and a tough 24.85-mile race in extreme heat. Among the runners were inexperienced athletes, including a Cuban mailman in street clothes and 2 barefoot South Africans. The race's harsh conditions, with little water and challenging terrain, led to wild incidents. One runner nearly died from dust inhalation, another was chased by dogs, and the Cuban stopped for a nap after eating rotten apples. American Fred Lors got a ride in a car for part of the race, but was later disqualified, while Thomas Hicks, who was given a dangerous mix of strychnine and egg whites, ended up winning. This marathon became famous not just for its endurance challenge, but for its bizarre and unsafe aspects, showing how sports events have evolved since the early 20th century. 8. During the 2008 Beijing Olympics, a big issue came up about the ages of some Chinese female gymnasts. Rules say gymnasts must be 16 in the Olympic year, but there were claims that some Chinese gymnasts were only 14. People started talking about this after finding different ages listed online for these gymnasts. This led to a big investigation by the Olympic and gymnastics officials. China said their gymnasts were old enough and showed their passports as proof. After checking everything, the officials said the Chinese team didn't break any rules. 7. Jim Thorp, an incredible athlete from Oklahoma, made history at the 1912 Olympics in Sweden by winning gold in both the pentathlon and decathlon, setting an Olympic record in the decathlon that lasted for years. However, Thorp had previously played semi-professional baseball, which broke the strict amateur rules of the time. As a result, he was stripped of his Olympic titles. Despite this, Thorp didn't let this setback stop him. He went on to have a successful career in professional sports, including baseball and football. Many years later, in 1982, his family received replica medals, and finally, in 2022, Thorp's Olympic wins were officially recognized again. 6. On September 5, 1972, a tragic event happened during the Munich Olympics, when the Palestinian group Black September attacked the Israeli team's quarters, leading to a hostage crisis. They killed 2 team members at the start and took 9 others hostage, demanding the release of Palestinian prisoners. Despite attempts to negotiate and a planned rescue at Fürstenfeldbruck Air Base, the mission failed, and all 9 hostages, along with a German policeman and 5 terrorists, died. This was a shockingly violent act at an event meant to bring countries together. 5. The Russian doping scandal, a major sports controversy, began around 2012 after a documentary claimed Russia had a government-backed program to help athletes cheat with drugs. This led to an investigation that found widespread cheating in Russian sports, involving athletes and officials, even with Secret Service help during the 2014 Sochi Olympics to hide positive drug tests. Because of this, the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, banned Russia from many international competitions, making them compete without their flag or symbols, and government officials couldn't attend events. Although a sports court later shortened the ban, Russian athletes had to compete as neutral under the Russian Olympic Committee, especially seen in the 2018 and 2022 Olympics. 4. At the 1988 Seoul Olympics, American boxer Roy Jones Jr. lost the light middleweight gold medal match to South Korean Park Se-hun in a decision that shocked the world. Despite Jones clearly outperforming Park, landing far more punches and dominating the fight, the judges awarded Park the win. This caused a huge controversy, with many believing the decision was unfair and possibly influenced by corruption. Investigations followed, revealing potential bribery, but the International Boxing Association, AIBA, eventually cleared the judges, and the International Olympic Committee found no proof of corruption. Jones, who missed out on Olympic gold, went on to become a legendary professional boxer. 3. In 1994, the figure skating world was shocked by an attack on Nancy Kerrigan, arranged by associates of her rival, Tonya Harding. Kerrigan was hit in the knee, aiming to prevent her from competing in the Olympics. Harding, initially denying involvement, later admitted to some awareness of the plan. Despite the attack, Kerrigan recovered to win a silver medal at the Winter Olympics, while Harding faced legal consequences and a fall from grace in the sport. 2. In 1988, Canadian sprinter Ben Johnson shocked the world by winning the 100-meter race at the Seoul Olympics in record time, only to be disqualified for doping with stanozolol. This race became known as the dirtiest race in history because many competitors were later linked to drugs. Johnson, who had been introduced to steroids by his coach, faced a career downfall after this scandal. His disqualification highlighted the widespread issue of drug use in athletics, leading to stricter anti-doping efforts and the establishment of the World Anti-Doping Agency. Despite his achievements, Johnson's legacy is marred by the doping scandal, though he continues to influence sports as a coach, maintaining that his training was also key to his success. 1. In 1980, the US boycotted the Moscow Olympics to protest the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, a move that didn't change Soviet actions but hurt American athletes who missed the chance to compete. Despite efforts to challenge this decision, the athletes couldn't participate. Years later, the US Olympic Committee admitted the boycott didn't achieve its political goals, acknowledging the unfair impact on athletes. In response, the Soviet Union and other communist countries skipped the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, claiming concerns over their athletes' safety due to a politicized atmosphere. They held their own event, the Friendship Games. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more amazing content.